How's it going, everyone? First off, I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy during all this shit that's going on right now. But today, I wanted to bring you hopefully a short temporary distraction from all the crap that we've been dealing with and tell you 6 things that I really love about our Saab 9.3 Aero. This is kind of a series that I seem to do with every car that we own, so I figured why not do it with this car too? I'm gonna try and make them a little bit different from videos in the past. But yeah, as you can see, I'm in the parking lot of a YMCA and there's one car way down there for some reason, and there's just absolutely no one here. It's kind of ridiculous. But with that being said, let's get into the video. I have to say, I think the thing that I still love most about this car, especially as I drove it over here and I took a slightly longer route, is the powertrain. I mean, this V6 is just such a great motor. It has so much torque, and this car is bone stock and it feels really quick. So excuse the extremely dirty engine bay. I didn't really think to clean this real quick before I filmed, but this is the 2.8 liter V6 turbo motor from Holden, GM, Saab. It's kind of just an agglomeration of all of that, but Saab shoved it into the 9.3, and this version of it makes 250 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque, and quite frankly, it feels like more than that. Like I said, it's an extremely torquey car. It's got a small turbo on it, so there's very little turbo lag, and you know, as you modify these things, like I've modified my Turbo X, it just becomes even better. So the V6 powertrain, definitely the thing that I love most about it, I think. The only thing is, when you need to work on it, sometimes it can be a pain in the ass. Second thing I love is the exterior looks. I mean, this car is very subtly aggressive, in my opinion. I mean, you have the Aero front lip right there. You have like this little body kit that goes around it. You have more aggressive side skirts. So if you put it next to a base model 9.3, you can see automatically it's more aggressive, but it's not aggressive in the sense that it's like a Civic Type R that has a big wing and is like, hey, look at me. You know, it's very subtly aggressive. I think Saab did a really good job making it look better. And if you guys, by the way, are looking for a full review of this car, I did one probably about a month ago, so click the link up here when you're done watching this video and check that out. But you see, you come around the back, you have dual exhaust, which looks really good. You have a nice little spoiler on it. So it's very subtly aggressive exterior wise. And I just overall think it's a very good looking car. It's very well proportioned. I just think it's a good looking car. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Speaking of the dual exhaust, that brings me to my third point, and that is the exhaust note. Now, I've kind of already talked about the V6, but along with it being the amazing motor that it is for the reasons I've already talked about, it also sounds really good, even stock. So I'm gonna go ahead, play a couple exhaust clips for you guys now and let that do the talking for this one. And then of course, if you modify it like I did to my Turbo X, it just sounds even crazier, like you guys heard in the intro clip of this video. So the fourth thing that I really love about this car is the interior, specifically the seats. And I talked about this in my review as well. So the Aero also is a bit more, I guess, sporty on the interior as well. You have this silver steering wheel with which a lot of people don't like, and I don't understand why. But I think it's a really good and sporty looking steering wheel. There should be silver trim around here. We bought this one like this, so we're still kind of trying to get a silver Aero one. You get silver on the door panels here. And then of course the big piece is the seats. These seats are so incredibly comfortable and supportive, and you can see that these ones in particular don't even have any wear like right here. So I don't know how these have stayed in nice shape for 14 years, but kudos to the previous owners on doing such a good job taking care of this interior. So I guess I'll stay in here for the fifth thing that I love about this car, and that's really all the little quirks about it. Now, if you guys want to see a really old video that I made, click up here in the top corner. This is where I talk about like a few of the quirks of my 9.3, my 2.0. This was way back. I think this was like the second video I ever made. It's almost 3.5 years old. I had to think there for a second. So if you guys want to see that, and go ahead, leave a comment, let me know you watched it. I find that really funny. But I'll talk about some of the couple major ones here. The first one being the cup holder, because Saab, why not just, you know, put it right here, and then because you don't want it in the way of the climate control vents, have it flip out and just, you know, look really cool. I mean, people are always amazed by that. The 9.5 cup holder is pretty cool too. Second is the night panel button, and because it's like 9 in the morning, I can't really show you guys that fully, but basically what night panel does is you hit this button right here and it shuts off all the lights in the interior with the exception of the speedometer up to 90 miles an hour. I'll put a picture up here on the screen of what it looks like at night. And you know, they took it out of their fighter jets, which is really cool. But it's also extremely useful, especially when you're driving at night on a light with no roads, or you just want to, you know, ease the strain on your eyes. It's a very nice feature to have, and of course if you get low on gas, the gas gauge will come on. You turn on the radio, or you adjust the volume, or, you know, press a different station on the radio, this screen will turn on for like 5 seconds, so it's pretty cool. Same with the AC. It's cool how it works. But yeah, just Saab quirks. There's so many little things. Like I said, I don't want to go over all of them here, but check out that super old video and go ahead and laugh at me for, I don't know, however long it is, like 8 minutes. So the last thing I love about this car, I don't want to say it puts all of this together, but in a way it does. It's kind of just like the all-around capability of the car. I mean, it's not a Honda Civic, so, you know, it's not the most reliable thing in the world, but then again, it's not a Honda Civic in the sense that it's not a slow, boring car to drive. Sorry, Civic owners, but your car is not that fun to drive, and if you think that, then you should probably try driving something else, maybe a Miata, for instance. So while an automatic sedan isn't the most fun thing to drive, you can still have a lot of fun driving them. With, you know, kind of having that aspect of being fun to drive, of course the manuals are going to be more enjoyable. That's just kind of common sense. You also get that great powertrain like I talked about. You get that really good exhaust note, even from factory. I mean, driving over here, the window's down a little bit and you could really hear it, and it just sounds so good, even bone stock. You've got good exterior looks. I mean, this car is 14 years old, and while it is obviously doesn't look like it's from 2020, it hasn't aged poorly at all in my opinion. I still think it's a very good looking car by today's standards. You also have practicality. So this is of course just your average standard size sedan. Saab called it a sports sedan. So it's not the biggest car in the world, but relative to its size, it's very practical. I mean, the back seats fold down completely. You have plenty of room to store anything you would need on most occasions. Of course, it's not an SUV, so don't expect it to store any massive amounts of stuff, but I mean, I think it's practical for what it is for sure. And then lastly, we can talk about the reliability. So for some reason, there's still people out there every now and then that I hear say that the V6 isn't reliable. That's not true at all. So again, while it's not as reliable as a Civic or a Corolla per se, and you know, I mean, in some cases I'm sure it is, but generally speaking, it is still a reliable car, and you know, especially when you take care of them, it's going to be a good car for you. So with that being said, I think that's all I've got for today, guys. Later this afternoon, I'm going to be headed to the junkyard. I'm going to film that just because I don't know how much I'm going to really be able to get out of the house the next couple of months. Arizona is being put on lockdown, pretty much, not lockdown, but kind of a lockdown. It's kind of just made official now that we need to stay, or we're supposed to stay at home. You can still go out for essential needs and, you know, socially, or now I guess physically distance yourself from people that you're with, but they're going to be, I think, a little bit more strict about it now. So with that being said, I don't know when I'm going to be able to really go out and film again. Of course I can do stuff like this, but I'll be going to the junkyard today to get a couple things. I'll explain what I'm getting and what I'm doing in that video, so look forward to that. That'll probably come on Saturday. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe.